This channel here is not just about cameras and gear. This channel is about life advice. Now, I'm not saying I'm a life guru or a life coach or anything like that, so don't take that away from this. However, what I am saying is, in my experience, I have learned a lot of things about life while pursuing cameras and gear. One of the things I have learned is that gear can actually make your life worse if you allow it to. Now you may be saying, well, how is that possible? Well, when you buy gear that's outside of your ability to buy or simply you can't afford, then you put yourself in a position to where your camera is actually hurting you. Well, what's making me say this? Well, I know a lot of people watch videos about gear, which is nothing wrong with that. I love gear. I own gear. I have rented gear. So gear is great. However, gear can be very expensive, especially the gear that we really like and the gear that we really want. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you can't afford it, then that's where the problem comes in. And what I see a lot of people doing is looking and aiming for gear that they can't afford. So what they'll do, because they want it now, is they will go out, get a credit card, they will put it on that credit card, and they'll end up spending $12,000, $13,000 on gear that they really can't afford. Well, you may be saying, well, I can make the payments. Well, maybe you can, but however, you're putting on a credit card where you're paying 24% interest if you're not paying it off right away, and that just doesn't make sense. In addition, you're buying something that is going to depreciate in value very quickly. Let's say you spend $5,000 on a camera body and $2,000 on a lens, that's $7,000. Then in 2 years, in 2025, that camera body is only worth $2,000 and that lens only $1,000. You just lost a lot of money then. And you didn't have to, because more than likely you're not even going to use that camera to its fullest ability. Now, if you're using that camera gear to make money, then that's a different story. But I'm willing to bet that most people that watch this channel and other channels aren't doing that. I mean, we like gear, and some people are just buying gear to have it and to shoot a little bit here and there, and they're throwing away money. But I think life is very important, and you have to think about the future when you're thinking about cameras and gear. Now, what do I mean by that? If you're like 18, 20, 25, you may not realize it now, but later on you may want a family. Later on you may want to buy a home. Later on you're going to want to have good health. Later on you're going to want to be able to support that family you have. And you can't do that if you put a lot of or all of your money into your camera gear. Because see, you need to save up for things like a down payment on a home. You need to have life insurance. You need to have a will. You need to be able to have education for your kids, whether you're going to homeschool them or send them to school, whatever it is they're going to do. But I'm telling you that if you don't plan now for the future, then it's going to be very difficult for you. And I could tell you that one of the things you don't want to have is financial problems, because bills and things can add up really quickly, especially when you start to just put things on credit cards and now you're paying the minimum monthly payments. Now, although you may be able to make those payments, you really can't afford it. So don't allow the want for gear and the want to have the latest to put you in a position later on in life where life is very difficult for you. So this isn't a long video. I just wanted to say that because it was something that was on my mind. And I'm gonna do this more often because I just feel like I wanna talk a little bit more about things that are gear related that affect other things in life. Now, the next video I'm gonna put out is gonna be the Sony ZV-E10 versus the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And we're gonna look at some things and what makes them different. So I just want you guys to answer this question. Have you bought gear that's outside of your scope of purchase, meaning you couldn't afford it? If so, leave in the comments below. Or if you haven't, let me know what your strategy is on buying gear and what your goals are for the future. But until next time, I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out. Peace.